Welcome back to Soulful Connections. I'd like to share a very brief and powerful idea with you based on this week's Parsha, Parsha Shalach. We read about the famous story of the Meraglim, the 12 spies that were sent into the land of Canaan in order to scout out the land before they were going to conquer it. Hashem commands Moses to call upon the leaders of each of the tribes and gathers them in order to send them into the land to take a report of how the land looked, its width, its breadth, were there inhabitants, and if so, were they righteous or wicked, how the vegetation was, the soil, if there was produce, the quality of the produce. They were sent in to take a scout of the land and make a report before they were going to take the required steps in conquering the land. However, when the spies came back to Moses, they reported all of their findings, plus they added on a conclusion saying that it would be too impossible to conquer this land. It wouldn't be possible at all. It's too hard. Now, because of this conclusion, Hashem became angry and he punished them and that generation. And what was their punishment? Their punishment was that generation would not merit to enter the land of Israel as they had been promised. What's the big deal? Why was there such a great punishment only because they added on their own conclusion? It seems pretty fair. Based on their report, their logical conclusion matched the report. So what was it that they did so wrong? Why was it such a problem? Why was their punishment so harsh? There's a really important life message, life lesson for all of us. Applies to all times, all people, all generations. I think especially in our generation. We're all faced with challenges. We find ourselves in a challenge, perhaps on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, whatever it is. We find ourselves faced with a challenge that looks totally impossible to overcome. We report on this challenge, we think about the emotional strain, the interpersonal skills needed, or the intrapersonal skills needed to combat this challenge. We think about how it looks physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and many challenges we're faced with we think, I can't do it. It's impossible. There's no way I will succeed. Sounds common. I think something that we can all relate to. However, we forget one small but essential point, and that is any challenge that we're faced with comes from above. The challenges that we're faced with are not always in our control. They're sent to us by Hashem. And when Hashem sends us those challenges, he also sends us the solution, the tools, the skill set, the support base. What he wants us to do is to create a plan of action to face this challenge. He's not asking us to conclude whether we can succeed in the challenge or not, because Hashem knows that every challenge he sends us, that we will succeed in it. He knows that, and we know that deep down too. All we need to do, our role is to create a plan of action in order to conquer this challenge. It's wrong of us to say it's impossible and throw our hands up, because every challenge that is sent to us has an internal and a greater purpose. There's a reason why Hashem sends us our personalized and customized challenges throughout our life. The question we need to ask ourselves isn't whether we can conquer this challenge or not, but the question is, how am I going to conquer this challenge? What support bases am I going to use? What resources and skill sets am I going to call upon? Now, I'm not saying that every challenge is easily overcome. There are many challenges that do seem impossible. But our job isn't to conclude. Our job is to create an action plan. I want to wish you a good Shabbos and wish you all the best and success with choosing a challenge and creating an action plan to succeed through this challenge. We can do it. All we need to do is remember the story of the spies. We need to write a report on our challenges and an action plan, not a conclusion. We will succeed. Thanks for watching and see you next time.